guys, welcome to what is game one of a best of three, and it is between roxkisFRAER, who is the green pro to play in the top right, and KrasS, who is the teal Zerg in the lower left. And now, FRAER already scores bonus points in my mind because he went for green, which is the best colour in StarCraft. But probably most importantly, I'm SC2 England, and I'm going to let my co-caster introduce himself.
Hey guys, I'm Pewee.
So, well, Pewee, we've had an eventful ride to the quarter-final game of AntecAttack, haven't we?
We've had 3 TVZs in a row. And of course, it's about time we get to watch my Protoss brethren kick some ass.
To be fair, we've gone... The previous 2 games we've watched were both half-an-hour long games. Like 30-minute games of the most epic craziness.
They were
ever
solidly good games. They were like
it wasn't even like those 30-minute games you get where both players just get a huge death ball army and then neither one to actually fight. It was like just constant aggression, back and forth, and wow, I'm actually getting excited talking about it. I don't know if you've noticed that, but like, whew. So okay, Pewee, what can we expect from FRAER here?
All right. Now FRAER, if you remember last week, we managed to see FRAER against Mouse Marine, which was a TvP on this map, and he went for that 4-gate blink ops all in. So there's a possibility he can do that.
For anyone wondering on that build, essentially what you do is you get the observer out to get vision of the high ground, and then you just come to the edge of the main and blink up him. And there's very little the Terran player can do.
Pretty much. There are a few variances, like if they go for tanks and stuff, it can be fairly hard, but...
KrasS has actually gone for a command center first build.
Ooh.
Literally balls of steel right there.
Like a boss.
Like a boss. Anyone would think he was like Empire KrasS with his command centers. It's a running joke. We get Empire KrasS play quite a lot in AntecAttack, and he just loves those command centers. He's like command center. I've actually seen him open command center in AntecAttack. Do you remember that game?
I think so, yeah.
And we were just like, is he actually going to make any units, or just literally win this game with like command centers? Just float over like 10, morph them into planetaries in the opponent's main base
like,
or something.
His goal was like to mine his opponent's minerals so he can build anything. It's like, haha. But looking at the build that we already have from FRAER, we have 2 gases, and we have 2 gases very fast. And 2 gases is what you need for 4 gates, blink obs, all in. So, I believe it's going to be that. How it goes, he hits 3 extra gateways around 5 minutes, and then he adds on the Twilight, and then about a minute later he adds on the Robo.
It's just such a potent build, but the only giveaway is that KrasS, he has got this SCV coming, and once that sees no attempt at an expansion and both of the gas, it tells it up. But that Stalker is moving down.
It's moving down. It's not going to have enough time to kill the SCV before it sees that there is no Nexus.
But it will be there in time to prevent the Scal the double gas. That's what's key, because obviously KrasS now is the thing. Well, is this a 4-gate? Is it
4 gates?
Yeah. Is it just a pure 4-gate though, which would have 1 gas, or is it a kind of tech 4-gate? Is it a early Robo build getting Immortal out, or?
Well, he didn't see anything.
Exactly. All he knows is there's no Nexus.
Yeah. And it was at a time where the Nexus doesn't go down at like off a 1-gate 30 supply build anyway, so like
it is going to be it's exactly
standard.
like a 4 gateways. The Twilight Council and the Robo just started, so it's this 4-gate blink with an observer.
Yeah.
All in. We saw him do it last week in AntecAttack, and it worked fantastically.
It did, and I've seen him actually just instantly blink, and like the person GG's.
Yeah,
and
that was last week. That was against Marine. He just was like, nope, I can't defend this. I've lost.
And he's even
But the scan goes off. This scan, he's seen everything now.
Oh, he has.
He's even seen the chrono boost on the blink, and now, well, their straightaway goes down. There's 3 barracks out with Tech Lab.
Oh, look at this! He lifts up from the natural, so he just has to defend his main now.
This is beautiful.
That's very smart. We should see like a bunker thrown over by his gas or something like that. So when he blinks up, he has to deal with the bunker as well.
The pylons are there. The stalker numbers are getting higher, but to be honest, there's just so much. There's going to be so many marauders out, just pumping marauder after marauder.
Yeah, that's 3 Marauders a pop. So there is a bunker on the high ground.
The Marines going in the bunker, very, very wise. The Observer on its way over, but another 3 Marauders will be out before this hits. That'll take him up to 6.
But there's no bunker at the back of the building, or his main. Like, that's really important because there's not that many units out for KrasS.
Yeah,
Here comes the
Freya's-
Observer. Oh,
KrasS is, I'm not quite sure why he's paused. Having
like-
lags, apparently.
Okay.
This is downside to an online tournament. Obviously, everyone's on different internets, etc. I didn't notice any lags. Did you, Puri, at all?
no, I've got nothing.
No. So it must be on KrasS's side. So, and obviously he does not want any lag when this hits. It's all going to come down to the micro on those Marauders.
Okay. Someone in the chat said that Freya... that this is KrasS's fun account, so that's why he doesn't have the Blast logo.
So he just
tag.
plays around with it.
Yep. And get ready, we've got more. We've got 12 Stalkers in total.
But the Marauder numbers are quite high. They're going to blink up by that bunker as well. But they're going through. The Marauders are there. They're going to just try and kite it close to the bunker. The SCVs are getting pulled, and Puri, this is going to be tough to hold.
It is. It's going to be so much... And it's going to be so intense. There's a lot of micro that comes down into it. He should have like an extra pylons. You can open Zealots to fight as well. Because Marauders are really bad against Zealots. And, as the Zealots force the Marauders to run away, the Stalkers can peg at them. But Stim does finish in 30 seconds.
And that is going to make a huge difference. Also, the longer this push goes on, the longer really KrasS has to get units out. And of course, if you look at the work count, it is actually in Freya's favour at the moment. So is Freya, do you reckon Freya will try to transition out of this?
Yeah. As you say that the
Yeah, he
Nexus
drops
goes
down the Nexus.
So he's just going to keep at it, keep winding his opponent up. And he doesn't have a natural expansion, so that's really good. And he's going to go for the bunker now. He's going to blink and get it. I can see it coming. See it. No.
Well, he
Just
can
has
just
a nice
attack it.
little
The bunker
spot.
does have enough range.
And the Observer goes down.
But that is a big loss.
That is huge. There's actually not another Observer on
There's
the map.
one in production, but now, of course, KrasS can just move down and go and pick off all of these pylons. The Marauder numbers are getting really, really high. Stim is done. And I love this. He's stimmed just a small group, which is fantastic. But Freya, he's getting supply block now, and if all of these pylons go down, that'll be big. But the watchtower is there. With Stim as well, there's no way Freya can engage this with just Stalkers.
No, he just has to be very careful that he doesn't burn his cooldown too fast, and like a Stim kicks in and annihilates him pretty much.
Exactly, and he is getting medevacs out now. And those medevacs are going to be absolutely critical.
Yes, but there is also a Robobay in production as well for Freya. He has 2 sentries back at home, so he does have sentries, which are very nice. And he has 6 harvesters ahead, which doesn't really make up to the meal discrepancy.
Not in the slightest. Sorry for that yawn there. It kind of caught me off guard. The missile turret is about to go down.
And he's probably going to get like an extra unit. Oh, nice little blink there.
Obviously, that missile turret was to pick off the Observer if it did float around too much.
And another Stim's going to come in.
And the medevac's getting focused down.
Oh, nice.
And that is very, very nice indeed. Because
He has to keep
medevacs
moving.
are kind of... Once they build up a critical mass, they become very potent.
Oh no, he's got blink again, yeah. And unfortunately, KrasS doesn't have concussive shell.
Which
So-
is the one thing missing. He hasn't even got researching, but
No.
actually, we've suddenly got quite a
First
few units
Colossus is
moving over.
about to pop.
Now, if this push hits before that Colossus can get in, or specifically these force fields, if they aren't perfect, KrasS could do a lot of damage here. And Freya now pausing. So
No posting. Each time one person has gone to attack,
give them pause. He's been like, hang on,
Yeah.
I want to think about what I need to do here.
Yeah.
It also gives you just a second to calm down.
It
But
does.
I'm sure that's not the reason.
The most annoying thing is, as an observer, you can't look around. But here we go. And, we have 2 full sentries, so there's a lot of force shields plus Guardian Shield. And there's not many units out here. And I feel like once KrasS has a bad engagement, like, the Blink Stalkers can catch his units.
Exactly, and I mean, this is good play though by KrasS. He's forcing force fields, but those sentries have a lot of energy.
Yes.
There's more force fields remaining already, so
What
that's
the hell's
pretty
KrasS
huge.
doing? I think he
I'm
must be
not quite
checking for
sure.
a third.
He's just getting everything in position. He's in a good spot. He's getting up more starports, so he's going to really start pumping those medevacs
Yep.
soon.
Well, actually, it's Vikings.
Oh, Vikings, of course. Sorry, I've got Colossi out there. No upgrades for anyone at the moment, but the +1 infantry weapon's about to kick in for KrasS.
Nice. So he has the upgrade advantage. The first forge, I believe, is only now about to finish, and range also does finish for the Colossus as well, which is pretty potent. You need that.
Now, obviously, with these two starports, there can be a lot of Vikings out very, very quickly.
Yes.
Also, it's worth noting, KrasS does have a lot of Marauders, so again, they're a lot stronger than, say, Marines against Colossi.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Just because they have more health, they're beefier units, and they deal a lot of damage to them as well. So, really, FRAER, now, he's actually in a good spot. I mean, the worker count is 41 to 50, which, with 2 orbital commands, is very, very equal.
Yeah. It's about 5 SCVs per thing. And we actually, what the hell is going on? The Marauders, the Medivacs are just going to the main. I think he's faking a drop, but he has blink. He can just pick him off. And this is gonna be interesting. We have 3 Colossus and enough force fields to block the ramp completely.
I'm guessing the hope was that FRAER would spend. He has blinked all of those Stalkers down. I think the hope was that all of his attention would be on the Stalkers, and that force could run up without the force fields going down. But unfortunately, that's not going to be the case. So the medevacs will rejoin. The Viking numbers are starting to come out. 2 out already, 3 more on the way.
We have a 3rd command center in production for the Terran, and we actually have a double forge now for FRAER.
And of course, once you start adding chrono boosts into that, the upgrade advantage can quickly go in FRAER's favour.
I think FRAER's going to try and get an aggressive blink at these medevacs, or maybe a couple of units for free. Because he wants to force them into an engagement, you see, and because the Colossus are right behind.
And of course, now it's a tough defense, but the Viking numbers are getting very, very high, and the Stalker number isn't really that massive, so the Vikings can probably engage quite nicely. It doesn't matter. There are 3 Colossi though, and the 4th one on its way. 4 is the real money number, isn't it, Pew?
Yes.
It's stacked.
And I'm pretty certain he is going to all in. He's got a lot of gateways. He's only, well, okay, he has 6, which is quite
he's just taking his third base, so he's not all in completely.
That's what I was waiting for. Like,
but it does actually look like FRAER is just going to keep the pressure on. He's putting the Colossi on the high ground, which is nice. May try and just walk the Colossi up a bit.
Well, he could actually target the command center, which is building an orbital. He could kill it if he attacked it right now before it finished, which means he would have to cancel.
But he doesn't have an observer out. That's the problem.
No, Colossus sees the high ground.
Oh, yeah,
they're on move command.
That was very unfortunate. The pylon's going to go down. Or no, the pylon stays up actually by some miracle, but the Viking number's getting very, very high now. Pure, you'll know the answer to this. How many Vikings should you be scared of when you've got Colossi?
When you have 4, I would say this is enough, yeah. I was going to say, like, it's kind of like 3 per Colossus.
The Colossi are all on their own. The Stalkers are nowhere near there. The Vikings are coming over. The Stalkers have just spotted that. Oh my god, that was so close.
Well, actually, the Colossus were too far, so he didn't have vision, but he must have just realised that the Colossus were
sitting on their own.
Yeah.
For a second, that nearly went very badly for FRAER.
But what I feel like FRAER was trying to do that is just stop him taking his 3rd while he got his own 3rd. So, you know, he's gone from maybe a economic disadvantage because his opponent had a faster command center to back to even pretty much.
Yeah, but of course behind this, KrasS has moved his own orbital command down now, and Puri, you're lagging massively. I think your internet's just dropped, so you just lagged hugely.
Oh.
I think you're back now. So, not quite sure what's happened to Pew. His internet seemed to go pretty damn crazy, but I'm going to keep on casting this. So, it's going to all come down to probably one quite big engagement. If those Colossi stay up and the Vikings can't engage them, that is not going to be fun in the slightest.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you've come back.
Yeah? Okay. I think it just reset really quickly. I'm back up to 1,000 kilobytes for the stream, so that's so cool. And Storm's about to finish as well.
But it's not quite done yet, and this is a great position for KrasS. And look at those Vikings melt the Colossi.
Oh, the Colossus aren't even taking, dealing any damage. They're just receiving it, and I think KrasS just managed to beat the FRAER. He's going to be able to take out the 3rd.
Yeah, without a doubt, which will again put him back in the economic advantage. But these Vikings are going to get another Colossi. There's only one left, and if that Colossi goes down, suddenly this infantry ball of melee marauders is just going to wreck everything.
Yeah.
Even the Vikings landing.
This is it now.
And
Good
there's
game.
the GG from Freya. So that was cool.